There's a thief that visits you every day. It doesn't break in, doesn't announce itself, doesn't leave evidence you can point to and say, there, that's what's been taken from me. It just slips in quietly, through your phone, through your thoughts, through the innocent act of looking at someone else's life and measuring yours against it. And by the time it leaves, something's missing. Your peace, your gratitude, your ability to see what you have without immediately noticing what you don't. Comparison robbed you again, and you didn't even know it was in the room. Let me ask you something honest. When was the last time you scrolled through someone's success and felt genuinely happy for them without that familiar sting underneath? When was the last time you celebrated your own progress without immediately comparing it to someone further ahead? When was the last time you looked at your life and thought, this is enough? Not as resignation, but as gratitude. If those questions make you uncomfortable, that's not jealousy. That's awareness, trying to show you something you've been avoiding. Here's the trap nobody warned you about. You're not comparing your life to reality. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Their curated posts, their best angles, their victories without the struggle that preceded them, the image they've constructed specifically to look like something worth envying. And you're holding it up against your unfiltered reality, your doubts, your slow days, your private failures nobody sees, and concluding you're falling behind. But behind what? A race that doesn't exist. A standard no one actually meets. A finish line that keeps moving because it was never real to begin with. Theodore Roosevelt said comparison is the thief of joy, but I'd go further. Comparison doesn't just steal joy, it steals presence, it steals gratitude, it steals the ability to recognize that your life, right now, as it is, might already contain what you've been searching for. You've been so busy looking sideways that you forgot to look around at what you've built, what you've survived, who's standing beside you, what's already in your hands that someone else is praying for. Comparison made you blind to your own blessings, and that blindness has been costing you more than you realize. Think about the last time you felt genuinely content. Not accomplished, not superior, just at peace with where you are. How long did it last before your mind offered you someone else's life to measure against? Before you remembered that guy from high school who's doing better, that entrepreneur with the faster growth, that person who seems to have it all figured out while you are still struggling with the basics? Your mind is addicted to comparison. Not because you're broken, but because you were raised in a world that taught you worth is relative, that success only counts if it's more than someone else's, that your value exists on a leaderboard you didn't ask to be on. But that leaderboard is a lie, and it's been running your life without your permission. Kierkegaard, the Danish philosopher, wrote that comparison is the death of individuality. He understood something most people miss. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you stop becoming yourself. You start chasing their path instead of walking your own. You start wanting their version of success instead of defining your own. You start living a borrowed life, shaped by envy instead of authenticity. And one day you wake up and you realize you've been running someone else's race, towards someone else's finish line, for prizes you never actually wanted. That's not ambition. That's self-abandonment with a competitive mask. I'm not saying you should ignore everyone else. Inspiration matters. Mentorship matters. Seeing what's possible matters. But there's a line between learning from someone's journey and losing yourself in comparison to it. Inspiration says, if they can, maybe I can too. Comparison says, they have it, so I'm behind. One expands you, the other contracts you. And most men don't know which one they're doing because comparison disguises itself as motivation. So what do? You start by noticing. Every time you scroll and feel that sting, notice it. Every time you achieve something and immediately look for someone who achieved more, notice it. Every time your contentment collapses because you remembered someone else's success, notice it. Don't judge it. Don't fight it. Just notice, because awareness is the first step to freedom. Then you redirect. Instead of asking, why do they have what I don't? Ask, what do I have that I've stopped appreciating? Instead of measuring your pace against theirs, measure it against yesterday's version of you. Instead of chasing their definition of success, get honest about what success actually means to you. Not to the world, not to your parents, not to the algorithm. To you. Here's what I want you to understand. You were never meant to be them. Their gifts aren't yours. Their path isn't yours. Their timeline isn't yours. And every moment you spend wishing you were further ahead on their journey is a moment you're not moving forward on your own. Your race is yours. Your pace is yours. Your definition of winning is yours. And the sooner you stop looking sideways, the sooner you'll actually see what's in front of you. Someone out there is praying for the life you're dismissing, the health you take for granted, the people who love you, the roof that shelters you, the breath in your lungs that you barely notice anymore. Comparison has made you wealthy and convinced you that you're poor. That's the real theft. Stop measuring your chapter against someone else's highlight reel. Stop running a race that doesn't exist. Stop letting envy convince you that you're behind, when behind is just a story you keep telling yourself. You're not behind. You're on your path, and it's time to walk it with your eyes forward.